Frost. By most people, it's seen as the weakest spirit. As one of the few people to ever top an Illustrials tournament with Frost, I can tell you safely that those people are wrong. Hello, I'm Constellation Gaming, and today on Decklist December, we'll be taking a look at Frost Beatdown. The goal of this deck is to utilize the effects of our Illustrials and our runes to get us to the mid game where we hope to dominate the board with large Illustrials. To start off our Celestial package, we're running 3 copies of Astrabbit. Now everybody knows the bunny, so I'm not going to waste time explaining that. We're going to move on to our next Celestial, which is 3 copies of Eddie. An Celestial who's almost getting as famous as Rabbit at this point, but his ability states when you cast this Eddie, you can change the position of an Celestial. When a player casts Rock in a hard place, you can special ascend this Eddie to Curubus from hand or deck. Now, most of the time we don't play Curubus. However, in this deck, we are actively running one Curubus. A 9/2 2-cost water Celestial that states you can disenchant 2 water from your field in order to destroy a card. If it is destroyed this way, return 1 spirit from your underworld to your spirit deck up to the number of spirits that were enchanting that card. Now, I'm going to be honest, Curubus's ability is not really too relevant in this deck, as we are going to be misenchanting it most of the time with Frost, whether we are ascending over Eddie and misenchanting it, or whether we are just ascending over one of our previously cast Frost Celestials. The reason why we're doing this is so we have a large 9/2 beat stick that becomes completely immune to Cryoblast with the fact that it is Frost enchanted. Curubus's big weakness is Cryoblast and Galaxy, and by Frost enchanting it, you at least nullify one of its weaknesses. Next, for the Celestials, we have 3 copies of Arcturus. Arcturus is an Celestial that states you can expend Frost in order to give this Arcturus plus 3 attack until the end phase. This Arcturus's effect can be activated up to 2 times per turn. So by expending up to 2 Frost, you can potentially make Arcturus a 9 beater. Extremely strong, and his ability to expend Frost Spirits is relevant with our next Celestial, 2 copies of Cryoline. A 1/3 Frost Celestial that states this Cryoline gets +1 attack for each Frost in your underworld. When this Cryoline has 6 or more attack during your main phase, you must either destroy it or special ascend it to Cryovern from hand or deck. So to pair with that, and to ensure that we don't have to destroy our Cryoline for no reason, we are playing 2 copies of Cryovern. A 7/4 2-drop Frost Celestial that states during your draw phase, you can discard your hand minimum of 1 card in order to special ascend this Cryovern to Cryoscorch from deck. Now, we are never going to be doing that considering we are not running Cryoscorch in this deck. Cryovern will almost always be misenchanted with water to play around Tsunami unless we know that our opponent has a Galaxy, in which case it will simply be double Frost enchanted and we will ignore the ability. Moving on to our next Celestial, to ensure that we don't get too low on spirits, we are playing 2 copies of Catarant, a 3/1 Frost Celestial that states when this Catarant receives 1 or more Frost Spirit, you can return up to 2 Frost Spirits from your underworld to your deck. The ability to consistently heal in a deck like this is paramount to its success, considering we want to have spirits in grave and also spirits obviously in our spirit deck to make sure that we don't die. To finish off the Celestials, we have 1 copy of Frostmite, a 3/1 Frost Celestial that states you can target an opponent's Celestial and give it -5 defense until the end of turn. This can be really strong against mainly Galaxies and Rabbits is the main reason that we're going to be playing the Frostmite, if we're being honest here. And the final Celestial is 1 copy of Enfrostix, a 2/3 Frost Celestial that states you can expend 2 and discard this Enfrostix in order to target and special cast a 1 Spirit Frost Celestial from your underworld. Now this can be really relevant in this deck because Cryoline can easily be resummoned on the same turn that it is cast to produce 2 Cryoverns, or you can easily summon a Catarant for free. You can summon an Celestial to special or to hard ascend over. There's just a lot of options that makes Infrostix a very strong card. However, you don't want multiple of them because if you do draw multiple, it starts to become clunky. Before we continue, I do want to remind everybody that I will be giving away a Reverse Stellar Exaltus at 100 subscribers. All you have to do to enter to win this beautiful card is like the video and subscribe to the channel, and you will be entered. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. Now let's start with the runes, although to be honest I'm going to be running through this very quick because we are just running a very standard rune package outside of our one copy of Zeus, a 1-cost divine rune that states when this Zeus is cast you can enchant up to 3 Thunder Spirits to it. You can disenchant a Thunder Spirit from the Zeus in order to target an opponent's Celestial and give it -3 attack and -3 defense until end of turn. Zeus is extremely strong and currently limited to 1 for a reason due to the fact that its ability not only allows one Celestial to attack over it, it could allow your entire board to attack over a certain Celestial. So we are running that just in case we need to get over something that might be a little bit bigger than our beat sticks. And we're playing 1 Kione, a 1-cost divine rune that states when this Kione is cast, you can enchant up to 3 Frost Spirits to it. You can disenchant 1 Frost Spirit from this Kione in order to return a 1-spirit Celestial to your underworld, or from your underworld to your hand. Now you can either pair this with Cryoline on a turn after you've played it in order to get a second Cryo burn out. You can pair this with an Infrostix that you have just used and utilize its effect twice in a single turn. Kione has a lot of strong options in this deck, but similar to Infrostix, becomes clunky if we have too many, so we only want the 1 copy. Now starting off the standard runes that we're playing, we have 3 copies of Ambrosia, a 1-cost Omni rune that states return up to 3 spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck. Healing in this deck is extremely broken considering everything takes your life in order to play, so that is why we consistently run 3 Ambrosia in every single deck. We're playing 3 copies of Cryoblast, a 1-cost Frost Invoke rune that states target an Celestial that is not Frost enchanted. Until the end phase, give it -2 defense, and when that Celestial has 0 defense, you must destroy it. Cryoblast is an extremely strong and relevant card that is played right now everywhere, and the fact that we get to natively play 3 feels fantastic. For more removal, we have our 1 copy of Earthquake, 2-cost Invoke rune that says target and destroy an Celestial, and our 1 of Resting on Your Laurels, a 1-cost Omni rune that states this Resting on Your Laurels can only be cast if your opponent has at least 2 or more enchanting spirits than you do. Target and destroy an opponent's Celestial with the least amount of enchanting spirits. Both of these were limited to 1 due to how strong they are, and so it's just foolish not to run them as a 1 of that easily slides in this deck. To finish off the runes, we have your typical 12 counter runes that we pretty much always play with 3 Gorgon's Gaze, 3 Poison Tipped Arrow, 3 Tsunami, and 3 Shield of Achilles. Gorgon's Gaze is there to say no to anything that an Celestial could ever hope to do. Poison Tipped Arrow is there for removal, and its -2 attack can sometimes be relevant. Tsunami is there to blank an entire battle phase, and Shield is there to bounce anything back to hand that might be a little bit bigger than us. Now for the Spirit deck, we're running 2 copies of Zaptor for our Astrabbits and our 1 of Zeus. We're running 2 Terratlas for our Earthquake. We're running 6 Leviathan for our Eddies, Kuribus, and for misenchanting Cryoverns, along with the Tsunamis. And then we have 10 Frost Spirits for the rest of the deck. What do you think of Frost Beatdown? Is this a deck that you would run? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do enjoy videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, as I do post videos like this daily. I will see you tomorrow for another deck list. Peace.